So on the Windows server, I will create following the instructions here. Now let's do it a little bit bigger. So the first thing is to install the role, right? So I'll do the role itself. So I'll open here the network, the server manager. I'll open it, and I will go to dashboard, and I'll say add roles and features. That's the first thing I'll do. By the way, I'll move this one. Once again, I opened. What I opened is here. See it now. So here it is. We'll skip the page. We already did it. And we will choose here. We will choose the which is the Active Directory Certificate Services. It's a role. So basically, we're gonna be able to use it without paying, kind of. You know, we paid already for the server itself. I'll say next on this one. I'll choose the features here, which are added. I'll say next here. I'll say next again. And I will choose here whatever is shown on our document. We need to choose also, the default one is the certification authority, but we need to choose also certification authority web enrollment. Okay, this one we need to choose here. We need to say add the features. We will say add the features here. We will say next on this one. Again, next. As they say, we need to choose additionally the features which are, well, they're already chosen for us, by the way. Okay. We just need to click next on this one. And we need to confirm. Well, it's a good idea always to click on the restart the destination server if required. I'll say yes. I'll say install. And the installation will start. Now it will install the IIS, which is the web server for Microsoft. In page, what I would do here actually, we will go for the firewall services. So I'll go to the firewall, and then I will navigate wherever it says rules. And I need to create rules on the DMZ itself. So I'm gonna go for the DMZ. Okay, I'll see what rules I have already implemented there. Here are the rules. Okay, on the DMZ itself. And I'm gonna add a new rule here. I'll say a new rule. And the rule will be actually to pass. And I need to say that I want the source to be my DMZ. I actually will apply it on the LAN. I will go to the LAN and I will apply a new rule. And the source will be my DMZ. So once again, on the LAN interface, I've chosen the IP version 4. Okay. The interface is LAN, and the DMZ net will be my source address. Okay. The destination port range, as you know, the DNS work on port 43. So here it is. I'm going 53. I'm sorry. I'm gonna click on DNS, and it will be chosen automatically. And I'm gonna just save the rule. So this rule basically, here it is. It is working on my LAN. The source will be my DMZ. Well, the destination, my destination will be my LAN here. So I need to say here LAN, not everything. Okay, so I need to edit this rule. I'm gonna find out the destination here where it says. And I'm gonna choose here the LAN network. So the whole LAN network, I could specify a LAN address actually. But for now, I'm gonna do the LAN net, which still will do the job. So do save. And here it is on the LAN. Once again, the DMZ net will be my source. The destination will be my LAN, the whole network. And the port will be 53. And the protocol which will work will be the UDP. Okay? And I'm gonna apply the changes. So I'm expecting now the DNS to be able to propagate and to get to my web server. Well, let's test. As you see here, you have configured Active Directory certificate services on destination server. So we need to click on this link. The other way is to go to tools and you're gonna find it here. And you use it from here as well. Okay? So I would say here, that's what it follows now. I could say close on this one. I don't need it open anymore. And I will proceed here. Now that's my credentials, right? My housenet domain and my administrator credentials. I say next. I need to choose here certification authority and the web server. Yeah, actually that's not the. Yeah, that's what it is. I need to check the other ones as well. And then I need to say next. We will choose the enterprise CA because we want an enterprise CA for this. The explanation, which one is which one, you're gonna find it here at the bottom. Say next. And we need to use a root certificate here. We'll say next. We need to create a new private key. Now, once again, I'll say new private key. And we're gonna choose whatever is, you know, whatever they say for us we could use. We're gonna say here, RSA, Microsoft Software Key Storage Provider. This one, Software Key Storage Provider. Okay. Then we'll go to SHA 512, this one. And we'll click next here. Now this is the common name, distinguished name, and the preview of the distinguished name. So ask us to do is to rename it and to call it like our server, but I'm gonna call it as they say, DC01 CA. So I'll call it DC01-CA. Okay, that's the for our domain controller 01, the certificate of authority. Okay, the next thing we need to do is to click next here, and we're gonna choose how long will last this certificate. So 5 years is good. What we're gonna choose. So we're gonna say next on this one. This says where the database will be created. So we're gonna choose the default one here. And as usual, when we install roles and you know, features here, it will ask us to confirm or to configure if we want to do something. Okay, we don't have any choice than clicking on configure. So we're gonna say configure it. Okay, now it will configure the both certificates. Now the CA configuration, the CA certificate of enrollment and the web enrollment configuration. And the next thing we need to do is to click on the close button. Okay. Now we need to reboot our server. We're gonna come here. We're gonna close everything else which is on at the moment. The DNS and the I'll close this one too. I'll close my browser as well. The last thing, I just gonna double check if my web server Still doesn't have access here. Let's check it. Still, but it's possible because we don't have the ping allowed anyway at the moment. So for now, actually, we'll leave it like this. And I'm going to reboot now. I will click and reboot the server. I'll say restart, continue. So guys, what I did, I deleted the rule which I created on LAN because it's supposed to be created on the DMZ itself, the originated interface. So I created it on the DMZ. As you see, I use the whole network of the DMZ as a source and destination, the whole LAN network. The UDP is the protocol and the port is 53 for DNS. Now, something else which I did, actually, I've chosen the default one. So if I click and open, I've chosen the default one, action for direction in. Okay, that was the default one. So it's very important because in that case, you're going to be in the proper direction. So what's going on now, when I go to my web server, as you see, when I do, when I try to resolve with the dig command, which I actually installed while was, the break. Actually, what I did, I've changed the adapter from NAT network, just temporarily installed and bind utils with the dig inside, and I did it afterwards. And as you see now, I have the command shows me when I try to resolve the server dig house net local. When you see on the top, actually it shows what the DNS server for this in charge is. And when I do ping Google, still cannot ping it because the ping is not allowed actually. But as you see, the dig is working now, and as opposed before this it didn't. Okay, so now I have all the prerequisites. This web server actually to get the certificate of authority of the. Well, I need to add also 443 port as well. So the certificate of authority to propagate as well, but that would be done after. Important thing is we have access on the DNS at the moment. And this guy, I could even join it to the domain if I want, which is not a good reason, I would say. Now, also what I did when you go to the site, you're going to find out there is a link here on number 13. Here it is, below the number 13, allow DNS usage from LAN to DMZ. You have the picture, which I showed it to you, and this one I'm recording at the moment. And at the bottom, you have two links. The one link shows, the first one shows actually the source from where I take it. This is the source, and it explains how to do it. Here it is. The guy explained the problem, and afterwards he said how he sorted it out. And the other one is if you would like to do it on a real environment, as I started before with Let's Encrypt. But as you see, you need to have a public IP, public DNS server, which you need to have a public space for this. But nevertheless, you have how to do it. Something which I showed it to you before. So you have the two links there as well. Okay, so you could find them. I will proceed now with the document where I was before with my certificate of authority. So I'll open it. Here it is. I'll go there. And what they say after the reboot, we need to be sure that all services are started. And I see all of them started. All the servers are on. Okay, the local and the all servers, that's fine. Now the next thing is they show you how to start them manually if needed. I'm not gonna do because they're on. Now we're gonna proceed with the IAS. So we're gonna click here on the start button and we're gonna find out the IAS. I could write it down, IAS. The other way apparently is just to go to the tools here, and you find out the internet services here, the IAS. Here it is. You click on this one, and you're gonna see whatever they show on the screenshots. Okay. The next thing they're asking us to do, They shows you if there is a separate message, you're gonna follow the documentation, what to click on it. We're gonna go to the default website now. So when I go to my server here, I'll find out the default web page. On the sites, default website, here it is. I'll go here a little bit down. I'll click on the default website. The next thing what I need to do is to click bindings, which are on the right side here. Edit site where it says you need to click on binding. Okay? And then you need to click add here. You need to say add. The next thing, we need to create the configuration for HTTPS. Okay, so let's do HTTP. We need to choose HTTPS instead. Here it is. Okay, the IP address, the host name actually will be server. Let me just double check the host name once again. Just to be sure it's server, yes. We're gonna choose server .housenet. So we need a very good DNS resolution before this. Okay. We'll not use for now the certificate of authority. We're not gonna use it yet. Okay. I'm gonna say this one. Okay. As you see, my certificate of authority is already there, but I'm not gonna use it, right? And I will click OK for now. And I'm gonna see the two services now for HTTP and HTTPS there. Okay. Now we're gonna go for the SSL settings here. When we click close, we're gonna click close and we'll go here SSL settings. And then we're gonna open the SSL settings. Say open feature. And I will require the SSL. Okay. And that will say this will prevent the communication with the certificate authority through port 80. So actually, port 80 won't be in use anymore. I'll say apply. Okay. Okay. We're going to open now the Internet Explorer again. Here it is. And what we'll do, we'll navigate to our site, right? We're going to say this, well, in my case, I'll say server, HTTP, I'll say HTTP : / server .housenet .local. We expect to be forbidden. That's what we expect. The next thing we'll do, it will to ask HTTPS then in that case. Okay, I'll say here instead of HTTP, say HTTPS. And I'm gonna see my information services now available. So when I use the 443 port, I will be prompt for my user name and password. I'll use administrator, and my default password for it. And here it is. It will show me the certificate services here. Okay, that's the IP address which I'm using actually to receive what I'm seeing. HTTPS. So to have the 443 port in use, as well as the cert SRV after this. Okay, so that's all for now. So